go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming through for Dashiki's and Bonnets. How is everyone doing? I'm really drawn to this deck, so I'm going to use this deck until I don't feel like using it anymore. And that's going to be my focus for right now, this deck. So let's see what this deck will bring. And it's the Universal Love deck. I really like Tony Carmine Salerno. He has a lot of decks out there. I think my Gaia deck is by him too. I'm pretty sure. This is called the Gaia, and this is Tony Carmine Salerno. Hi, Stephen. Hi, Lisa D. Good health, Stephen. Good health, Mo Jackson. Yes. Hi again, Miss Shay. Hey, Queen. Good health, Midnight. Your predictions have come true. So happy for Aaliyah. Thank you, Queen. Wait, what happened with Aaliyah? What are you talking about? Elaborate. Give me more information. Alrighty now. You type and give me more information, Midnight, please. What happened with Aaliyah? I don't have my phone near me. I'm charging my phone because I have a FaceTime and my phone's not charged. With FaceTime, if I had audio, then I can charge my phone. R. Kelly got 30 years in jail. Yeah, I'm going to do a predicted it on that. It's amazing. It's amazing. That guy. You know, I was told by one of my group mates that he was a pimp for the industry. Did you guys know that? He was a pimp for the industry. Truth be told, I believe he put out the hit on Aaliyah. This was a hit on Aaliyah. I believe he did it. He couldn't fathom her, one, going off into another man's arm, and two, being successful. The industry killed her, and I believe he personally put out a hit on her. Tell me I'm lying. Should I do a reading on that? Should I do a reading? Because people are going to start talking. Trust and believe. People's guilt, it's eating at them. People are going to start talking. The industry and him. You agree with me, right, Midnight? You better agree with me because Spirit don't never lie. I should do a reading. Okay, I will, sweetie. I will. I'll do a special reading to see if R. Kelly put out a hit on Aaliyah. I already know he did. But remember, we're talking about an era where nobody would listen to an Aaliyah. And the rap world was like, no, the rap world, no, those men were disgusting. At that time especially, nope. There was no way. That girl had to walk away quietly. And even that wasn't enough for these assholes in the industry. Damon knows a hit was put out on her. Because it was against him, too. Oh, Midnight. She's like, I'm happy. I almost cried. I respect that. It's been a long time coming. But I'm also honored that it came during the Me Too movement. This couldn't have happened 10 years ago. In fact, remember, they tried it 10 years ago. They tried it 10 years ago. And he was acquitted in Florida, right? Hype Williams, too? What? It'll get exposed because there's too much eating at people. There's too much. People in this COVID experience that we're having, people are starting to, their demons are starting to come for them, which means they won't be able to keep their mouth shut, right? Which means they have to confess their tongues. Yeah, Aaliyah's mama. Look, the daddy had to die. The daddy was like, I can't. He felt so guilty. He joined Aaliyah. The daddy knew what he did wrong, listening to his crazy ass wife. Child, narcissist wife that slept with R. Kelly. Yeah. Can you imagine your mama at the same time sleeping with you? Can you imagine? Yeah. I believe her dad died of a broken heart too. Yeah. But I believe he died more knowing that he handed his daughter over to the wolves. That's what I believe happened. Being convinced by his crazy ass wife. Yeah, I'd love to hear Rashad talk though. I'm not sure of his full innocence after her death. I'm not blaming her by no means for everything that Aaliyah went through, but afterwards, like, did you protect your mother too? Right? Because now you're an adult, Rashad, and a Leos don't protect people like that. We just don't. We don't have it in us. So I'd love to hear him speak up and say more because he knows a lot. The mother will never talk. The mother will go to her grave. She will never talk. She will go to her grave with this information. Right. I think he's protecting his mama too, which is unfortunate because that means they had a narcissistic mom that convinced you, not doing the right thing by her is doing the wrong thing. That type of mothering. It's weird. It's kind of weird mothering where you feel guilty. Yeah. All right. Yeah, he died of guilt. Yep. All right, everyone. Thank you, Midnight. Thank you for coming on. I'm going to post about R. Kelly going to jail for 30 years. Oh my God. Was this after the trial? Did they have the trial? But this was the verdict? Is that what happened? Is that what happened, guys? Because I'm kind of missing, or is this another state? Wasn't this trial in New York? And was this verdict in Chicago? I'm so confused. Well, but he's in the industry and he's born of an era that was disgusting. So when you're born of an era that is disgusting, you kind of morph into that disgusting era, and that's Hype Williams. That has nothing to do with being a Leo. His ha funny part, that's all Leo. His honesty, you got to look at his moon sign, you got to look at his rising, you got to see what's compromising his Leo. So he may not be a true Leo like you and I. This was in New York. They announced it yesterday. So wait, this was the trial? They're just announcing? Did I miss something? This is the trial? Where Azriel testified? They're just announcing his sentencing? Wow. That means he knows a lot of people. Wow. That means this river runs long. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is a long river. Interesting. Trial was in September, but sentencing was yesterday. I didn't even understand he never got sentenced. I always felt guilty, right? I always felt it. So I was like, I just thought the guilty verdict came down. This is some bullshit. I think they were trying. He knows this is a long river. This is a long river, and I think they've been trying to negotiate with him all this time. Wow. I wonder who he gave up. For them to take this long, they needed names. For him to just get 30 years, think about it, because they like to give the black man 100 years plus double, right? You know how they do the black man. So if he just got 30 years, I didn't know it was the same trial. If he just got 30 years, he gave up some good names. Y'all better watch the news because he gave up some names, I promise you. Now I need to check that. Oh my God, there's so much work I have to do. There's so much work. Now I got to see if R. Kelly gave up names. I didn't know this was the same trial. If they are just sentencing him, he had to negotiate. They wanted names. Because 30 years, listen to this, guys. 30 years means 15 years on good behavior, right? No. 30 years means 15 years, right? You serve half the time, right? And sometimes on good behavior, you can get out sooner. This was some negotiating bullshit. What? No, he talked. He talked not to get 30 years. He talked. We're going to check it. I'll check it to make sure, right? I'm not going to argue. He had to talk. Yeah. Oh, the uncle. Yeah, I forgot about that bastard. Lord have mercy. All right. Yeah, the uncle. Jesus Christ. All right. I didn't even know that. Thank you for letting me know. I knew that he was guilty. That wasn't shocking to me. What I'm hearing now is that that's the case from September. That is shocking to me. He talked. He gave up a couple of names, but for 30 years, I really love my dreads. Like, you have no idea. I love my hair. My locks. They're not dreads, they're locks. I love my hair. Seriously, I love my locks. Why am I calling them dreads? All right. There's no loyalty amongst these clowns. He made a deal. Right. Right. Minimum of 27 is what the judge said. Okay. Good morning and good health, Kenneth. Oh, hello. You're welcome, Queen. I'm happy you gave me insight on Aaliyah. You're quite welcome. And now I'm going to visit Gina Smith, who died with Aaliyah. We graduated from the same college. I pray that the souls get peace. Wow. Wow, Midnight. You're a special person too. This hits you personally. I can tell. It hits you. Wow. I'm sorry for your intimate experience. Hi, Lachey. Hello, sweetie. Wow. Hi, Terica. Hello, sweetie. The silence from the industry on R. Kelly is loud. These bastards. But the ghost of Aaliyah, remember the COVID experience, remember Uranus and Taurus. Uranus and Taurus is the exposure, and it's still here. How much longer? 2026, 2024, to, I think it started in 2020, 2, 3, 24, 25, 26. Uranus and Taurus is here to 2027. There's going to be a lot of dirt picked up. I know. They all need to go down. I have no pity. All right, let's get the word of the day in, guys. Let's get the word of the day in. Thank you, Midnight. Thank you. And thank you for thanking me. Like, I love that. Thank you. I was just passionate about it. Just passionate about this. Just passionate. Just passionate, you know? All right. Subscribe, like, and share because I'm going to be putting out videos back to back and I don't want you to miss out on any video. So at least subscribe and then press the bell for all, right? And at the very least, you know I put out a video and you can watch it whenever you want to. I'm exhausted. Okay. Ah. I don't want to pull from the middle. I always pull from the middle. I want to pull over here. Guys, this is the third time I got forgiveness. Look at this. 1,000. And I said I didn't want to pull from the middle. I started to pull from over here and I was like, no. And then there's a little dent right here and I thought that was a trick. And I was like, no, I'm going to pick next to it. Forgiveness is the theme. This is like the third time. Every time I've done dashikis and bonnets so far, forgiveness is the key. Ugh. Let me read from Melissa's version today. Let me get Melissa's version. Hold on. So one of my group mates this morning said that I'm hungry, but you know, I stay hungry. I've got this tuna fish kick that I'm on right now. I'm a fixed sign. I could be on tuna fish and crackers for lunch for a year. It's fixed sign people. You can't fix us. All right, hold on a second. Melissa. So Melissa, one of the super psychics, said that she was preparing for work this morning and the forgiveness card in her deck fell out. So I'm going to read it from her deck. So this is the card that she showed us. This is her forgiveness that she said she found on the floor, right? Right? This is my forgiveness, right? And she posted what her book said. So, forgiveness. Forgiveness can work miracles. When you release the past, a weight is lifted from your shoulders, and a sense of freedom washes over you. Ask your angels to help you let go of sadness or pain caused by others so that you can be free. This card also refers to a need for self-forgiveness. It's a time to let go of any guilt you are holding on to, any guilt you are holding on to regarding past mistakes you have made. Give yourself credit for having tried your best even if the results weren't what you would have liked. Focus on the changes you've made since then that have made you a better person. So, no more in this COVID experience are we carrying around any guilt of past mistakes. Forgive yourself for making mistakes. Forgive yourself when others won't forgive you. You're not to carry this beast of burden. Forgive your mental health at the time. Forgive you for the resources that you were given, maybe not to know better. Forgive yourself if you were too young. Forgive yourself if you did something yesterday. And keep forgiving yourself every time you have a memory of something. Just say, I forgive myself for acting that way. And every time you do that, you break down that part of you that wants to protect in secret. And then that person that you keep having to forgive the actions of will no longer exist. But we have to start with forgiving yourself. We have to start with, I was wrong for that. How could I have done that? I forgive myself for acting that way. I had to do that for one of my group mates. Yep. Yep. I was at the time upset about something. At the time, something else I was upset about. And she sent me a text message that was a really nice text message. But because I was upset about something, I didn't see her text message for what it was. I was insulted. And I rammed her. And I kept ramming her. And it wasn't until I saw the TV show Abbott Elementary. And the main character was waiting for a parent. And she already felt the parent might not show up because she kept preparing how to communicate with this parent. And nobody was quite helping her because they had their own PTA teachers' nights. And so she was left with her own devices and her own anxiety. And she kept feeling like this parent was not going to show up anyway. And it was, PTA was over at 8, and we look at the clock and it's 8:30. And just before she closes up her classroom, knowing that the parent is not showing up, she texts her mom. And she was like, how are you doing? We haven't talked in a while. Something to that effect. It was a very moving, it's very moving. And you see where the mom is about to respond, right? You go get those 3 little dots. And then nothing comes through. So she's left there holding her phone, like needing something from this woman. And she gets nothing. And so the mom that she was waiting on, the teacher now has on her coat, and she's literally about to close the door when the mom comes down the hall. And the mom goes, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I'm this late. And the teacher reamed her. How dare you? Do you know that your child is waiting for you to show up for them? She wasn't talking to the mom. She was talking to her mother. the mom represented her own mother. And she rammed this mom. And the mom pulled back her coat and she showed a nursing badge. And she was like, don't you dare judge me. I had to save somebody's life. That's why I'm late. And it all got snapped back together, put into perspective. This wasn't a mom neglecting her child. This was a nurse that had to find enough time to sneak away from her job to come talk to the teacher. That's a hard job, people. Right? And once the teacher realized what she had done, then they had a healthy conversation. She was like, oh my God, like, no one said this, but she was like, I took my personal feelings and I put it into this situation. And when I saw this is months later, this is around my birthday in August. And this episode was like in March or April. And when I saw this episode, I cried. Immediately, I saw what I had done to this young lady. And I knew I had crushed her soul. But I wasn't crushing her soul. My soul had been crushed. And she became a victim because it wasn't meant for her. I meant to give it to my son. And she represented the age bracket of my son. She represented that generation. But I didn't have the guts to give it to my son. I gave it to a young lady that looked up to me. But as God would have it, I swear, this episode came out on a Tuesday, and the very next day, she texts me. And she says, it's been on my mind, and I tried to reach out to you in November, but I just couldn't find the space to text you. And I told her everything. I told her what I had been going through in my own family, and that I saw the Abbott Elementary episode the day before, and I realized what a crappy person I was. I was such a crappy person because I didn't have enough fucking guts to challenge my son, who's a crappy kid, and his wife. And I gave it to a young lady that didn't just like, her whole life can be impacted by something I did to her. Because I was a bitch. But we talked. And I apologized. And I told her how I got there. And I said, no explanation on, like, I don't need the pity from you. I'm just telling you, I apologize to you. I'm sorry I did that to you. I'm sorry. I was a horrible person to you. And I don't want forgiveness. You just need to know that I'm sorry. And all I had to do from that point on was forgive myself. Do you understand? I didn't need her to accept it. I needed myself to know that I got crappy. I got ugly. I got knee-deep dirty in some shit. But we had a good talk. And we cleared the air. And it helped me to recognize I'm not perfect. That I'm still growing, I'm still learning, and I'm still challenged emotionally. Yep. Yep. Forgiveness. Forgiving yourself is like key to everything. All right? And the interesting part in forgiving yourself is that you just recognize who you are. You recognize your wrongs and you recognize who you are, and all of a sudden you can breathe again. You can move on when you forgive yourself. No one ever has to forgive you. Ever. You just have to recognize that you can do this for yourself. This is your relationship with God. Yeah. We learn a lot. Thank you. So I don't know what you're going through. Just say out loud, I forgive myself. And then say what it is. And you don't have to believe it the first time. Say it again, and say it again, and say it again. And if it's 10 different things, fuck it. Say it again. 10 different things, but just get it out. It helps if you point it to something, right? So it helps if you point it to your Allah, your God, your Yahweh. It helps. Ask God to take it on, and your spirit automatically changes. Automatically. All right, guys. There's Priestess Ifa. There's nothing more beautiful than having the courage to hold ourselves accountable. It's a pathway to healing. Yeah. It is. It is. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So this is for you. I only tell my story so you know. Don't carry shit around. Forgive yourself, forgive others. Oh my God. The part about forgiving others. You gotta learn to forgive others. Like, you're the one carrying the pain when you don't forgive others. I didn't say they shouldn't go to jail like R. Kelly. I said there's a part of forgiveness even in that. Imagine his upbringing that led him to be a despicable person. I forgive you for your upbringing. Enjoy 30 years in jail. Right? Right. Bye, guys.
Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live.